Today I'm going to show you exactly how I'm designing the Healthcare Analyst Lab system that I wish existed when I was breaking into analytics. So I'm building an entire 90-day structure visually so you can see how everything connects. This is something I've been talking about in the previous videos, but now I'm putting in more of the details so that you can see how I'm building it specifically, and honestly so that it's easier for me to stay organized because I've been compiling a lot of different things and I'm starting to lose track of everything. So let's dive into that now. And just as a short recap, this is going to be basically how to help people break into becoming a healthcare analyst from scratch. It's helping mainly career switchers, but it's also going to help people who are getting into the system and who don't have experience, how to get the healthcare experience. So basically, the problems that I see inside the market right now is people learn skills, but they can't get experience. No experience. And then so they get stuck in this application black hole where they just aren't good enough compared to people who are applying. And then also the market is saturated with generic portfolios, or portfolios just that aren't good enough. And inside this market, with the market tough, you have to stand out and you have to have portfolios that look like you're already job ready or that are unique from the people that you're going to be competing against. And despite this job market, healthcare is hiring. Because I know friends who are constantly getting reached out to by healthcare recruiters. Healthcare is hiring. But if you don't have the experience, because there's certain niche experience inside healthcare that makes it hard for people, you need to have the domain knowledge. And you have to know where to get that domain knowledge. So what I'm trying to do is solve for this. And then here's a 90-day promise, right? 90-day promise. Outcome or transformation. Basically, it's get real healthcare analytics experience in 90 days so you can get hired. So that's catching up. And then building out the program. I've talked about it and brainstormed, but there is a whiteboard sticky note way of doing this. Basically, the way that this works inside like a meeting, you would go to like a conference room, you would have a bunch of sticky notes, and then you would write out, and this could be used for anything from like storyboarding to product development to brainstorming for anything. And then you have your sticky notes, and then you arrange your sticky notes into the various parts of that workflow. So here what I did was I did this visually inside Microsoft Whiteboard, and then I was writing all of the various parts of the program, the 90-day program, and then I started to rearrange it because I had a bunch of my own notes, a bunch of research that I was doing, and then trying to figure out what is needed for the MVP so that we can start testing inside a beta group. And if you're looking to break into healthcare analytics, click the link in the description below, and then we'll love to have you in to test and see if we can get you into a healthcare analytics role and get you experience faster. But basically, split it up into the 4 main segments. Orientation is basically it's all the welcome stuff. It's all like the foundational stuff that people would need to know. Experience engine is figuring out how to get that healthcare experience. Skills Accelerator is teaching the healthcare domain knowledge plus some of the technical skills. And then the job system and offer conversion is when you're actually looking for a job and then trying to get an analyst job. So what I did was pretty simple. Just write in all of the various modules, the lessons, and then just start to reorganize and place them in different places. So here you can see welcome video, 90-day promise, domain, how to stop acting like a student, start acting like a consultant. This is module 1, the blueprint and mindset. And then there's various things that I was just reorganizing and then just moving it around. And then even inside here, I could have split this out, but I just kept it in here for now. If you wanted to be more granular, you could just take, say, the stream B. This is Trojan Horse, which is basically just getting a job in healthcare so that you can transition into analytics and just get the experience. I could split this out into its individual pieces and then reorder it as well. But I'm just keeping it high level so that it's easier for me to visually see everything. This works for me. And it's a way for me to keep track of if I get new ideas, new videos, and then how to split it out here. See, like here would be Healthcare 101, payers versus providers versus PBMs, claims lifecycle. And then I was just reorganizing it so that the course flow goes this way. So I'm still building this out. And still experimenting with this and then just changing it up. But this gives me the rough structure to start the MVP. And then so that I can just start on these videos now. The welcome video, 90-day promise, going over the modules, how like the roadmap, and then the general like mindset stuff. And I'm still working on this, but I'm basically going to keep adding to it until I have what I think is going to be the bare bones. Actually, not the bare bones, but what is needed for high compliance and to get the result for members who come into the community. Once it's consistent and we can actually get people consistent results going through this, then we launch it as like a paid program later. Same here, job offer. Basically, this is launch. My previous video where I talked about breaking into analytics, I talked about Epic launch, where there's 2 parts, where Epic is the first part where you're learning the skills, like the technical skills. You're also getting the experience. And then when you are applying and you're ready to apply and you have like your portfolio done and you crafted everything, this is basically from that video, and I'm just honing in on the tiny details. So launch, this part here is going to be, this is your resume, because L is your level up your application assets. This is cover letter. This is your portfolio. And then from working with more people recently, your portfolio is your GitHub. And then a personalized website. But you can buy a domain, like a cheap domain, like I forget what the cheap domain website is called. And then it just forwards to a Notion page, because Notion is free. And then you pay like, it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $5.99, $10 for your domain. And you can make it your name. You can make it a catchy analytics thing with your name. And then you also have your LinkedIn, and then how you display various parts of your portfolio. So some of this could also be your public Tableau, and then figuring out the best ways to display your portfolio, and then also having it tied to a YouTube, like unlisted YouTube channels where you go through and present your portfolio. And if you want to take it a step further, you could always create Medium. You can host the actual website and domain. That's what I actually did, was I hosted a domain where it was screenshots of my portfolio plus things that were unique to my personality. So dance, photography, to make me stand out from everybody else. Apply strategically. This is going to be specifically to healthcare, like who to reach out to, how to network. No, that's going to be here, who to reach out to. But it's the healthcare roles that you can apply to, the different departments, what's more likely for you to break into healthcare analytics. the things that you might not know, and then also how to build tools. So I'm still debating on this one because it might not be needed for the MVP, but like build tools to help with the outreach. For outreach. And then this one is networking for feedback. And all the like who, I'm going into like this into detail, like who, answering the who and how. So it's easier. Because in healthcare, a lot of the jobs that come, or in just any of the jobs, the studies have shown that networking again inside referral will help you get that job. And I know people who have been referred internally who aren't the most technical. They have some of the business knowledge, but they got in because they had a trusted referral. And then the other interviews are like all interview skills. So storytelling, soft skills like building rapport. And then other things like follow-up, like mindset, confidence stuff. And then the technical parts of the interview. And then I'm still working on all of this, but basically it's a lot of the stuff that I've covered in my how to break into analytics or how I would do it from scratch, but on a big, like a deeper level, because I've been working with more people now and understanding the nuances. Closing is basically negotiating and like how to negotiate, how to get a better offer, how to research, how to leverage other offers so that you can get the best package that you can. And even just having the experience to just do this so you can start practicing. Because most of the time people just don't get a better package because they didn't ask, they didn't try. Oftentimes you just have to ask or try or get the experience of asking and trying, and you'll get better at it. And then honing in on this and hone your edge is basically getting feedback. One of the things that I notice is a gap in what people do is they apply and they won't hear back and they won't follow up. They won't request feedback. They won't try to follow up. No follow up. They won't try to call. Because if you can just get feedback, sometimes just getting feedback right away will let you identify what is wrong inside your application or you as a candidate and what you could do to fix it. Most people will ignore you. That's why you just have to be persistent with this one. But there's going to be genuine hiring managers, people that you interviewed with, people from the team that will help you if you reach out to them and just ask them and then kindly follow up. So yeah. So that's how I'm designing everything. Just wanted to show that so that if you have anything that you're working towards, it could be a product, it could be story. I've done this with a lot of things, direction, things I'm confused about. You can just do the same process. You can do it physically. I know a friend who did this physically when he was transitioning from an old business to what he wants to do moving forward. So yeah, that's just something that you can do. And if you're interested in becoming a healthcare analyst and you want my personal help, because I've been in healthcare analytics for over 10 years and technically 13 years because I started out in temp data entry and then transitioned into touching more healthcare analytics and data processes. Come into the system. I'll leave a link in the description below. Apply and would love to see you there. And then you get to test out and be part of the beta founding program members. And then it'll be free for you forever. With a caveat, as long as you stay inside the program. And yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, but I'm going to head to bed because we're going to be leaving in a couple hours to visit family. So Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.